Good afternoon, Dwayne here, Dry Creek Wrangler School. I know it's a little soon after the last video, but I just feel like I want to make another one today. So, got a beautiful day and we're outside. Got Mom out here today. She's operating the camera and she's going to help me so that I don't forget what I'm trying to remember. So, what I want to do today is I want to answer some of the most asked questions. Now, these are not probably the deepest questions, not the most serious questions, but they're the questions that I get asked, some of the most stuff. Some of them have been getting these questions for a couple of years now, and I never bothered to address it. And so I just want to do that today. I just want to address these questions. One question, and the questions are not, by the way, let me step back. The questions are not antagonistic. A lot of them are genuine concern, which I appreciate, all right? So one of the questions I get a lot of comments on is the trimmer in my right hand. And a lot of folks, you know, they're concerned, Dwayne, do you have Parkinson's coming on or palsy, or, you know, you ought to get that checked. I've been checked. I do not have Parkinson's. I don't have palsy. I don't have any of that. I went not too long ago again and got a complete full blood work. Doctor said I'm healthy as a horse. But there are some structural issues. A human's cervical spine is curved in one direction, all right, naturally. Mine is curved in the opposite direction. Not only that, but down at the base of the spine where it comes into your, at the base of the cervical where it comes into your spine, mine are all crumbled and deteriorated. Not only that, but it's not only going backwards, but it's going too far. I wound up in the hospital, and your discs, they're on top of each other, all right? And then your spinal cord goes up through the middle. Well, mine had come off, and one had slipped almost all the way off, and it was pinching my spinal cord. In fact, I was in ambulance to the hospital. I had some really weird stuff going on when I was at police academy. Every time I'd have a lot of physical exertion, and it got worse. And so my spine had almost severed my spinal cord. And so they went in, did major surgery, and went in and pulled those discs, all right, the vertebrae, that's what I'm trying to say. They pulled the vertebrae back up as much as they could, and they couldn't do a whole lot. But they pulled it back up as much as they could, and then they put plates and screws to hold it so it didn't come back down. And then he told me, he said there's a lot of years and years of damage below that. Like I said, it's deteriorated and crumbled. There's not much we can do about that. I think the tremors is nerve damage from damage in the neck. I noticed that when I am careless with my diet and I eat stuff that's inflammatory, and that after a while it builds and the tremor gets back, it gets worse. But if I get on my diet really good, I eat really healthy, I cut out the inflammatory things in the diet, then it goes down. But I appreciate the concern. The tremor's been there since about that time, and I think that's what it is. I think it's just nerve damage from the damage in the neck. We carry on, we work, we ride horses, we still train horses, but there's some things we don't do, and we're just careful, because if I come off wrong, it will take very little, and I'm done. So I think that's where the tremor comes from, okay? So anyhow, I wanted to address that and set that straight. Another thing, and I'm gonna put two together. People are always asking me about my stand or my philosophy or my view on marijuana and my alcohol. What do I drink? Do I drink? Where do I stand on that? I'm not a fan of marijuana. Now, I myself have never tried it. I've never had so much as a toke off a joint. Unlike Bill Clinton, I didn't not in hell, I didn't even take it, okay? Never tried it. I spent time as a law enforcement officer, and the culture that I dealt with in dealing with marijuana situations, it just, I've never dealt with anyone that made me want to go over to that side. I don't like how it slows you down. What I've dealt with, I don't like how it makes people dumb. That's me. If you like marijuana and you smoke marijuana, it's like I am like about everything else. That's you, man. You do you, and you're not going to get any grief from me. But I don't allow it here in the school, okay? But I don't go around knocking people for it. That's, I've gone from pretty much about as extreme right wing as you can get to I'm a libertarian, all right? That's basically what I am. You, as long as you're not hurting somebody else, you don't have to answer to me, okay? And now there's things I think that are morally wrong that don't hurt somebody else. If you do it, I think you'll have to answer to God one day, but you dang sure are not going to have to answer to me, all right? So I'm not a fan of marijuana, and it's not allowed here in the school. Alcohol, I drink very, very, very little, but I do every once in a while. In the summer, I may have, in a really hot day, I might have a beer. Coors Banquet is my beer of choice if I'm going to have a beer. But one is pretty much a heavy day for me. In the wintertime, I might have a little bit of something if I'm cold, like a whiskey sour. I might have one down there when I'm having supper with Mama, but that's about it. Again, the rules here are for the school. I don't care if you bring your own beer in, you want to have some beer, or you want to sit around the fire after supper and have a glass of wine or some bourbon. I don't, that's fine. There's just two things with that. Number one, growing up in church, I was told my whole life that the Bible says that drinking a drop of alcohol is a sin. It don't say that. All right, you got to really be intellectually dishonest to come up with that. It doesn't say that. But it does say that drunkenness is a sin. And again, as an ex-cop, I just can't tolerate being around somebody that's drunk. I just can't have it. And so I don't care if alcohol is brought and consumed here, but the two rules are you don't get drunk. And there's no alcohol until after all the horse stuff's done for the day, usually after supper, around a fire at night. That's my stand on it. Alcohol itself is not a sin, but drunkenness is. And so that's my position. That's where I stand on that. Okay. Several folks have concerned, and they've contacted me, and they've emailed me separate and said, Dwayne, do you know that there are people on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok that are taking your content and cutting it up into shorts and posting it and making money on it? Yes, I do know. What have I done about it? Nothing, because I don't care. All right. I really appreciate those who are looking after me and who brought it to my attention. All right. But I don't care. Okay. Some folks are actually honest enough. They contact me and say, Dwayne, may I have your permission to do this? I really respect and appreciate those folks, but there aren't very many of them. And I tell them, I said, yes, you can. Just don't edit it so that the message comes out different than what it was, and make sure you give credit where credit is due. But when I started this channel, I didn't start this channel as a business. I didn't start this channel to make money. I didn't start this channel to get famous. I started this channel because I wanted to get some information, some counsel, some help, some encouragement out to folks who might need it. So if I say something that is encouraging, it will reach whatever limited whoever it is that I reach. But if somebody that I reach takes that and puts it out on their deal, then it will be reaching more people than I reach. And so the encouragement and the counsel and the advice that is what my heart is, that I want to put out, is doing what it's supposed to be doing. And it's reaching more people than I could do. And if they make some money off that, I'm not. I don't care. More power to you. Good on you. And just don't. There's been a couple of them I've seen that have kind of altered it and edited it to the point, and I'm like, that's not really what I was saying there. But they're not malicious about it, and so. But yes, I am aware of it, and I appreciate it. So. Oh, politics. Okay. Someone actually got on somewhere and said, shame on me for not going on about what's going on over in Israel and in Palestine. And do I not see? Do I not care? How come I don't comment on it? Listen, I'll make a little poke. I'll make a little jab, a little humorous jab like I just did a minute ago at the Clintons. Because no self-respecting human being is going to respect the Clintons anyhow. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, you can't respect a liar. And I've said on here, politically, I think both sides, left and right, I think they're all crooked, okay? And I think the people that are quote-unquote running the country are not running the country. And so I'm not political. And the purpose of this channel is not to be a talking head about politics or religion. Yes, I see what's going on over there, and yes, I have a definite opinion. And yes, I am studied on the matter, and I have a pretty well-grounded opinion. But that's not what this channel is, and that's not what I'm doing. We lose sight sometimes of the path that we are on, that we're supposed to be on. We lose sight of the journey that we are making. All right, I have been in churches before where it's just completely, the pastor has completely lost sight of what his actual job and his actual calling is. And for weeks, all he does from the pulpit is talk politics and tell you who to vote for. He just well go home. That's not what he's there for. That's not what God called him to do. It's ludicrous, all right? Now, you take, and there's some people out here you don't like. I tremendously like, and I have a great deal of respect for Jordan Peterson. I've made no bones about that, all right? I watch what Jordan Peterson does, and I watch his interviews, and he does something that I cannot do, that I will not do. I'll never get to the point that I do that. I think it's great that he does it, and I think he does it tremendously. He gets on and he combats these people from the other side. That's his road. That's what he does. All right? He tries to, maybe I'm not saying this accurately, all right, but to change people's mind. All right, to put out there the other view and to use logic and reason for them to see the other side of things. That's not me, and I won't ever get into that. All right, if you are a young person and you've lost your way and you don't know what to do next, and you're depressed and you're lonely and you're hurting, I want to help you. I don't want to tell you who to vote for. I want to encourage you. I want to help you keep putting one step in front of the other. I want to help you to start seeing clarity. I want to help you to find the courage to do the hard things. I don't want to stand here and get in line and chorus with all the other talking heads out there that are wringing their hands about the political situation. How much of the political situation in the world today is caused by the individual that was not given proper counsel and encouragement and help and clarity of thought along the way? Problems caused by the many for the many are started by the one, caused by the one. It's the individual, okay? And so I want to encourage and I want to help right thinking. All right, right thinking. If you can't if you can't make the right decision today on how to treat that person or how to respond to the way that person is treating you, or what to do about this job situation, or what to do about your career, or what to do about this, what to do about that. How in the Sam Hill are you going to have the judgment to decide in the midst of all this chaos what is right and what is wrong over in Palestine and in Israel when that's been going on for 4,000 years? So it's not my bailiwick. All right, it's not my lane, it's not my road, it's not my job. All right, whatever your political persuasion or your societal persuasion or your cultural persuasion is, I want to help you day by day make good decisions and to become clear-headed and rightful thinking individual. And if I can help you do that, then you can turn around at these bigger issues and judge for yourself the current and historical truth and what is right. But for me to just sit here and tell the numb-minded, this is what you need to think, because this is what I think about this particular political situation, and that's not doing anybody any good, and that's not what I'm here for. So I don't do it. All right? If I tell you, if I say this is who I vote for, and this is who you need to vote for, then half the crowd turns me off. And so what my true message is and what I'm truly trying to get out there, they don't even hear it. They don't even hear it. So I'm wasting my time, and all I'm doing is banging on a pot with a metal spoon, trying to make noise, try to gin up interest and gin stuff up to get people's attention so I can get more clicks. I ain't interested in that. I'm not interested in that, okay? So I don't do it. I know from the very beginning, I know what my place is. I know what my job is. I know what my message is. And I'm not going to lose sight of it. If you lose sight of your destination and you lose sight of the road that you're taking to get to your destination, that's the definition of lost. You're lost. I don't want to get lost. Okay? So no, I don't, and I'm not going to. And I'll still humorously take jabs at politicians, but that's just humorous jabs. We can all, it doesn't matter what side you're on. We can all wonder what kind of formaldehyde they're using in the veins of Mitch McConnell to keep him alive. Don't care if he's a Republican or not. All right, he's as dead on his feet as Pelosi or Biden. All right, there are a bunch of geezers out there that are barely alive, standing up there and trying to pretend like they're running this country. Doesn't matter which side. All right, so I'm not going to hammer on the politics of this situation. We got folks out there that are taking care of that. Okay, so anyhow, I think I went long enough on that. My wife's going, knock it off. No, she's not really. Okay, the other thing is, and again, all right, I get a lot of questions on clothing. Look, most of my work clothes is just Wranglers. My jeans are Wranglers. I wear 13 MWZs. I have for 20 years. That's what I wear. It's what I've always worn. That's what I'll always wear. All right, Wrangler 13 MWZs, cowboy cut jeans. Sometimes I do the PRCs, which is just the 13 MWZs that are pre-washed. They're a little softer. They don't wrinkle so bad in the laundry and aggravate my wife so much. But that's what I wear. Most of my denim shirts, they're Wranglers. Where do I get them? Wherever I run across them. Farm and ranch stores, Murdoch's, Big R's, places like that. And just wherever I happen to be in a farm and ranch store and I'm running low on shirts, I go over and look. Nothing mysterious and fantastic about that, okay? The vest, I get asked a lot. The vests are, the top of the line vests that I do are Filson. And then after that, the wool vests are Wyoming Traders. And then the canvas ones are Wyoming Traders. And again, I just, in farm and ranch stores and western wear stores, whenever I'm in to pick up some feed or to pick up something if I'm running kind of short, or I walk by a rack and I see something, and that's what I get. My barn coat, a lot of people ask, not this one that I usually wear. It's Outback Trading. They got good stuff. I've had quite a bit of stuff. This is, I don't know what this is. Schaefer. I don't know. I think it's Schaefer. My wife found it at a secondhand store for like $50, and that's how we shop. It's amazing how much of my clothes comes in. My wife says, "Look, I found you something today," and she loves going through these secondhand stores, and she finds stuff and brings it in. And I've had a cajillion questions on, Dwayne, what is that watch? That looks really cool and interesting. Well, the watch that everybody talked about all this time, it was a dang Timex Expedition from Walmart for $40. That's it. Now it quit, and I just got another one. I don't know why anybody would care, but you keep asking, so somebody does. I just use a field watch. Oh, it's called a field watch. It's just an analog. I like the hands with the numbers, with the date on it. This one, I did a lot of research, and I got one a bit nicer. I stepped up from Walmart. This is a Bertucci, and I probably did not say that right. All of Italy just threw their hands up and groaned at my pronunciation. Bertucci, it's just a field watch, titanium case, so it should be a little tougher. No light on it, so it won't kill the battery. But that just a standard field watch, just simple, just to tell time. I don't buy watches that have altimeters and barometers and compasses and cell phones, and I mean, I can't imagine doing what I'm doing wherever I am, and all of a sudden I start getting text on my watch. I leave my phone at home because I don't want to be bothered, and then my watch starts dinging at me. I can't even conceive of it. So it's just a field watch, just a working watch. It's just there to tell me the time. And of course the hat, as you know, is Rand's Hatters out of Billings, Montana, and so just answers to a few questions. The Tabernacle by Foundation Cigars, that's what we got going on here today. I've had them before on here. I like them a lot. And so that's what I'm having. So anyhow, I just wanted a little more personal, just a little simpler and whatever, and just to answer some questions, and some of you have been concerned about things, and again, I'm grateful, and I appreciate, that you care and you're trying to look after me. It means a lot to me. And so I just want to assure you that I'm not dying of Parkinson's, and I know what's going on the internet. So anyhow, I appreciate it, and just appreciate you guys hanging in there. We're looking like we're going to get close to 1 million subs by the end of this year. Probably won't quite make it, but we'll be close. Unbelievable. It's been a heck of a ride, and we owe it all to you guys. We appreciate it, and I'm going to figure out something to do when we hit 1 million subscribers. I don't know what to do yet, but we're going to do something. And so we just want to encourage you guys, as always, be logical, be reasonable, be safe, have fun, and look out for the other guy. We'll catch y'all next time.